Hey everybody, had to take a little break. As you can see, I'm making progress. I got the big pile that was behind me cleared up. Um, still a lot more work to go. I got the woodworking station put together the other day or yesterday. Got that all fine tuned. Um, Still got to clean up the storage area. So, culmination, bringing everything together. A little bit of a personal update, a little bit of a channel update, a little bit of a story update, and it's going to tie into the series because it gave me the next lesson. Last weekend, I reached out to my ex. To my surprise, she showed up. Had a fantastic weekend. A lot of talks, a lot of exploring ideas. It was all lip service. Just telling me what I wanted to hear. Pretty much what I expected. One of the things I told her is, look, I'm literally begging for the bare minimum in any human interaction. And I'm not talking like romantic. I'm talking one human to another. The bare minimum is acknowledgement. And I can't even get that. Like, look, I don't claim to be perfect. And that's why, I opened all the way up. Completely up. I was telling her stuff that didn't even really have relevance. I just wanted to, point out, hey, look, it's not just you. I'm not just saying you got to change. I want to take this serious. And I was taking steps. But no. And I know because of, unfortunately what she is, right now she doesn't care. Right now it's relief because now she has the freedom. She doesn't have me nagging. She can go do what she wants to do. Well, here's the thing. You want the world can have you. Don't come back. I'm done. And I went to go have that cathartic release like I felt it coming, and of course the great comforter, the Holy Spirit came down, was ready. I had that embrace. I could feel it was locked in. And all I could manage was a single tear of disappointment. I had big plans for us, but I can't force anybody to do anything. So, moving on. But that, again, all that rigmarole, and thank you for letting me vent. I didn't feel like a partner. I was a pet, you know? If she wanted to ignore me, she could ignore me. If she wanted to had a good day, she'd come home, I'd get little belly rubs. If she had a bad day, poof, poof, got kicked across the room. I wasn't a partner. I was a pet. She never did care, and she never was going to. And I thought that with the gifts I had, what I've been trying to do here, I got a little cocky. And the lesson I learned is this don't work on narcs. An unfortunate reality. They just don't have the capacity. It requires empathy. And if you have, no empathy, if you cannot think of anything outside of yourself, and your image to the world, it's not going to work. But for the people that it does work on, for the people that are putting the work in and getting to where, we're trying to be, a word of caution. Be very careful of the company you keep because, you hear the spirituals, they talk about, energy vampires. That is a real thing. That is a very real thing. They will drain you dry. They will suck you of your entire identity, any sense of self at all. they will leave you an empty husk and go on and party like nothing mattered. You know, I've been drawing a certain type of people for the last few years of my life, and I understand because I was in that underground period. I needed that pressure. You know, the lump of coal had to become the diamond. But the lesson is definitely being learned. You know, it's not bullshit. It's really not. You know, that faith. I trust the plan. You know, I tried to ignore it. I said, hey, this is what I want. I want her. God said, okay. I gave it my all. She didn't choose me. She's got free will. So be it. And God was there to comfort me through it. And God will guide me to whatever, you know, is meant to be in my future. I trust the plan. And the silver lining is now I can sleep good. Because, you know, a month ago when the first, you know, argument happened and we separated, I was a wreck. I was absolutely a wreck because all I could think about was, you know, as unhappy as you are the way she's treating you, you know, what part did you play in that? And we had that conversation and it went in one ear and right out the other. According to her, she checked out 2 years ago. So I already lost before I started. But I'm going to quit wasting that energy. But also an update. I know earlier when I did the finale for the narc abuse survival videos, I'm not going to do a series on that because I'm just not dealing with narcs anymore. I'm just not doing it. I've had my fill. I've had enough. I don't need to know nothing more about them. I've learned the hard way everything that I care to know. I'm sure it'll pop up in, you know, conversation on here, but I am not going to dedicate attention to it. Not happening. I am still working on. I really want to get this Bible study series going. Unfortunately, I'm going to be several days still on this project, trying to reclaim my space and get it straightened up and get it functioning. But I'm literally about halfway there. It took me 2 days to get halfway there, and if you only knew where I started, that was pretty impressive feat. Today I'm taking it a little easy. I'm not slacking. I made room in my bedroom in the house for some of the clothes that I'm going to be pulling out that I'm going to want for the summertime for church. And I've been out here sorting. That's why this pile is going. I've been out here sorting through clothes. But I'm taking a restful day. I'm not doing a lot of like up and moving like I've been doing the last 3-4 days. My body's telling me it needs a little rest, so that's what we're doing. We're just not giving up, right? Don't give up. You got to keep going. You got to keep pressing forward. Again, look at me. I mean, I'm definitely not happy right now. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and put on a fake front, but I'm not devastated. I kind of, you know, the discernment, you know, I knew last Saturday that the accountability wasn't there. That was all the closure I really needed, but in fairness, I had to give her a chance. I tried. I talked to her every day. Again, I was open. I told her everything. You know, I stepped out of my comfort zone to try and do things she claimed she wanted, but then she acted disinterested. Again, typical, like, by the book narcissistic behavior. I used to be one of them people that used to hate that. You know, oh, just because you broke up with them, that doesn't mean they're a narcissist. No. It's for sure, 100%, not a doubt left in my mind. I've seen everything I need to see. So we're moving on. We're moving forward. But yes, as you, especially once you unlock the discernment, it makes it a lot easier. Like I think that's why I was so ready for it. Like it wasn't as devastating because my discernment has been at an all-time high. And I knew it was coming. I did give it a fair shake. I really did. And I know I did. And again, I still get to say, I am who I say I am. I made 100% certain. But it finally got to a point where it hurt too much. I couldn't hold on no more. I didn't fall out of love. I got chased out of hope. And again, I don't even know why, this little bit of regret that I have, because I know she has zero. None. She might later when the next supply falls short, but I know she's looking forward to this trip. And again, she doesn't have me nagging her about it. She doesn't have me, trying to feel more secure about it. So she's going to go. She's going to have a blast. Now she's got the freedom. She's probably going to meet somebody. And again, she's going to do the same cycle, because that's what I saw that I needed to see. I begged her. I tried to train her. The cycle's got to break. And she couldn't break her cycle, so I had to break ours. It's unfortunate, but it's over. Moving on. I haven't gotten much feedback, and it's not that I'm here with intention, not for attention, but I would like to extend an invitation. I think we're far enough in this that I would like to hear, anybody who is watching these to reach out. If there's any specific area that you want me to touch on, anything you're struggling with, anything you want me to take deeper, again, I'm here to help. So I would love to hear from you. Sorry, a lot of ums. Again, I don't script these. I just kind of let it flow through. So yeah, guard yourself. You are molding yourself into an absolutely beautiful creature. With God's help and the things that you're gonna you're gonna finally be able to see that you've been blind to. It is an amazing experience, and even now, I say it's worth every bit of heartache. I still wouldn't change it for the world. I'm still excited. I'm looking forward. Tomorrow is the luncheon at the church. That's kind of bittersweet. I'm going to be saying, that's our goodbye to the pastor. But, one door closes, another one opens. So I'm going to get to meet a new pastor. I'm going to get to be with the church to step into the next era. I'm looking forward to that. So tomorrow should be a good day. I got my doctor's appointment Monday. And now, because of recent events, that's a whole other conversation that I don't have to have now. So that's great. Again, the other day, Fountain of Faith. Look for the silver lining. Find the lesson. The hardest lesson that I keep repeating is you can't save anybody. You can only be there to try to guide them to save themselves. If they choose not to, move on. Go to the next one. Life's short. Don't waste time. Don't regret any of the love you give. Don't. We are commanded. We love. I have every bit of forgiveness. I understand what made her the way she is. I might not know the entire story, but I understand the concept of it. I feel absolutely horrible with myself that I I really did give it my best, and I couldn't help. I couldn't help her. And I got to lick my wounds and realize that I'm not quite as good as I was thinking I was. But I don't give up. It's not in me. I'm really looking forward to the opportunities now that I'm getting more involved in the church. I'm going to step forward. I've had like 3 really good nibbles for possible future to kind of boost my finances and my situation in general. So I'm not going to speak too much because I don't want to jeopardize anything. But again, you got to keep moving forward. You got to lean on. That's why God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, all are there. All are there. Always. When 2 or more are gathered in my name, that's real. Get a prayer buddy. There's a reason the Holy Spirit is called the Great Comforter. You are open. All you got to do is invite them in. Well, you got to clean house first. They don't like to come into a messy house. You got to clean house. But if you start doing the work, you ain't got to get it finished. It ain't got to be perfected. Just tidy up a little bit. Make sure they can get through the door. Once they can come in, they'll help you with the rest. But you got to let them in. That's how it works. I don't know any other way. Jesus, the way, the truth, the light. All right, I went a little over, but that's all I got for today. So, as usual, take care of yourself. Try and help take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one.